And just go ahead and start off by saying good morning to you. Just want to introduce myself. My name is John Childers, the Vice President of Vertex Consulting, and also on the line here I have Adam Novak from WatchGuard Technologies. He is the sales engineer for the South Atlantic region, and he'll be doing the presentation on the Dimension products and also network discovery and mobile security. I want to start off by thanking you for taking this time to learn about WatchGuard, and more specifically the WatchGuard Dimension product. In addition to Dimension, we'll go over two new items that WatchGuard is proud to add to their growing list of new features that is available to WatchGuard users. Those are the network discovery and mobile security. Before we begin, let me go over some housekeeping items. In order to keep this webinar in the allotted time frame of 30 minutes, we ask that you type your questions into the chat window. If time permits, we will answer them at the end of the presentation. If not, we will get the answer to you via email, along with a link to the recording of this webinar. As an alternative, you may contact me at the number or email listed here. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have about WatchGuard or any other products that we have. To start off, let me introduce myself and Vertex to anyone who is not familiar with our organization. Vertex Consulting was founded in 1997, so we have a 19-year history. We have premier technology partners of WatchGuard, Datto, ShoreTel, Microsoft, VMware, HP, and Ruckus. Also, in addition to that, as of today, I am proud to announce two new partners that we've added to our growing list. Those are Brocade Networks and EMC Storage and hyperconverged devices. With all these products, we have extensive business IT experience, with thousands of IT projects completed and tens of thousands in users currently supported. So some of our clients come from quite a few of the verticals here. I just want to go over those right now. We have government, banking, education, insurance, medical, industry, and legal. As you can see here, there is quite an eye chart of current organizations that we support. But really, what I want this to illustrate is our depth of knowledge in each and every one of these verticals, and our ability to help support you. As for me, I'm the Vice President, as I said. I've been here for a total of 18 years. Pretty incredible. As Vice President, I have quite a few responsibilities here, both on the consulting and operation sides of the organization. As far as my support of my clients, I have every one of those verticals. I have, with me being here for 18 years, I have an extensive depth of knowledge of each and every one of those verticals and the challenges that you face. But what we want to go over here is WatchGuard. Today we'll be going over the WatchGuard Dimension product, and with that, I also want to announce that WatchGuard has two programs that we are proud to stand behind. We have the WatchGuard Red for Red program, and those are for existing WatchGuard users. Also, we have the WatchGuard Red Instead program. For those of you who aren't using a WatchGuard product now, you may trade it in for a WatchGuard product. What's powerful about this, on both of those, if you're an existing WatchGuard user or you're looking to add WatchGuard to your current portfolio, is that if you buy 3 years of the WatchGuard Security Suite, you get the hardware for pretty much free. There's nobody out there doing that. So in order to keep if you currently have a product and you want to keep it fresh, you buy 3 years of support with that security suite, and you get the new hardware. If you're looking to replace your existing hardware, you can that is a current competitor, you can trade it in, buy 3 years of the WatchGuard Security Suite, and they'll give you the hardware. So why are we here today? We're here specifically for WatchGuard Dimension and what it gives us as far as the visibility into top-line security issues. We can also instantly grasp activity by top user, site, or app. And we can home in on security risk sources. All these items allow us to be the superhero that would make our parents back on Krypton very proud. Of course, with Adam being an engineer, he wanted me to throw in a little disclaimer here. This is not scientifically proven in a controlled environment or lab as of yet. So with that, I'll turn this presentation over to Adam Novak. Adam, let's go ahead and put you in there.
All right. All right, John, I appreciate the introduction. Thanks again, everyone, for coming this morning and being with us for our presentation of Dimension. Dimension, I'll start off by saying there are 3 V's in the log data. There's the volume that you deal with, which becomes more and more abundant every day, the more things that you begin to combine and collect with everything that's going on your network. And for some verticals, the retention can be years, can be 90 days, can be for a really, really long time. But if there's too much, then it's really pointless because, you know, you're just drowning in all this data. So there's also the variety of the data. You know, there's firewall logs, there's antivirus logs, intrusion prevention logs. And then there's the velocity at which the logs are coming, the speed that they're created, and then the speed in which you need to analyze this data to make it relevant. So those are the 3 V's of big data. Now here's a couple reasons for logging all this data: to detect and track suspicious behavior. For the forensic side of things, you know, if you've already, you know, had issues, then you need to go back and look at your history of data for you know, prevention, for compliance, and then to detect persistent threats of malware and everything. So these are 5 of the reasons that you want to collect log data. Now, the top 3 challenges with the logs are, you know, the key events from normal background activity. So having to look at all this data and actually comprehend what's going on with it, you know, and then combining multiple sources of data and seeing what's relevant. And then, you know, the lack of being able to do anything with the data. So it says, you know, of all the respondents to some of the questions that we sent out to people, only 35% are even doing anything with the data that they're collecting. So you have all this that you're drowning in, but yet you're not doing anything with it. You know, and only 24% say it's part of their normal workflow. So you're just collecting and collecting and collecting and not really doing anything with it. So here's just a little illustration to say 66% of cases, you know, the breach wasn't found for months or even years. And then on top of that, only 1% of the breaches were discovered by all this log data that everyone's collecting. So what we're trying to do here with WatchGuard Dimension is to collect this data, to put it in relevant and easy to read ways into logs and reports. And these reports can be scheduled daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and they can be emailed to you or to any relevant party, or they can be sent straight to, say, a file share. So that way it's easy to read. It's not all this jumbled syslog stuff for you. It's actually in a nice, easy to read format. So, and on top of this, the WatchGuard Dimension feature is completely and utterly free. So with the purchase of a WatchGuard firewall, you get this as a free download from our website. All you need is some sort of VM backbone. That being said, it's either VMware, Hyper-V if you want to go private, or it can be Amazon, AWS, or Windows Azure, however you want to do it. So here are some things that you can see from Dimension. You know, how many viruses were blocked? You know, where these intrusions stopped? Who's using all the bandwidth when you get the inevitable question, my internet is slow? So you can see what's going on in real time and then act upon it because you're seeing this real live data that's coming through. And as I said, here's the easy ways you can install with Hyper-V or VMware if you want to keep it private, or you can do it publicly through Amazon or Azure. And when I say free, I mean free because you don't need a Windows license. It's on a Ubuntu backbone. So all you're doing is just deploying an OVF file, and then it just spins up, and you access it through a website. And then once it's set up, all you do is go to your WatchGuard firewall and select where you want those encrypted log files to go to. So you set the log encryption key, you put in the IP addresses, and then you go to the actual proxies and policies on your firewall, and you select you want those proxies and policies to be loggable. So now all that information is being sent to your Dimension server. Now, here's where you would get the Dimension server if you want to download it from our website. Here's a few ways to get there. And like I said, it's free. All you need is the virtual backbone. So here's a demo of some of the information that you do see through Dimension. So you can see, and as you can see on the top left in the top clients, it is all Active Directory integratable. So you are getting usernames instead of IP addresses, which makes things easy, easy, even more simple to, figure out what's going on, who's doing it, and then act upon that if, say, you see the person on the right, using YouTube, so they're sucking up all the bandwidth, the internet's slow, you can act upon that, make a policy against Anna Parker or, the entire general population altogether. So here's just some more logs. You can drill down into detailed information about domains or users, or even web categories. So now you're seeing who's going there, what they're looking at, what they're doing, and now you can act upon it by creating different policies and proxies on your firewall. And here's another, looking at the security dashboard, you can see all the bad things going on your network and how they are affecting. And this is just a few of our verticals that we're currently in, and all these customers are currently using our Dimension server. So that being said, I just want to take a quick jump over to my Dimension server. And as you can see, here it is, and I currently have 5 firewalls behind it. My Raleigh firewall is currently offline. Now this Orlando firewall you see managed, yes. Now that I'm using the ability of Dimension command, which gives you the ability to look at the logs and the reports and actually go straight to the web UI from the Dimension server. Not really going to get into that today. It's just more of the overall Dimension server itself. So here's my corporate headquarters. So I'm going to click on that. And as you can see right from the beginning, this is the executive dashboard. So you see the top clients. I'm the only user in my environment, so there's only one username. And the top domains, the top web categories, destinations, applications, and the protocols being used. And as you can see, there's a PDF symbol here, so I can create a report for all this. And it's very simple report. I'm just going to click it open real fast. And all these are customizable. You can put your own company header up here. So you can have your own logos on top of them. But like I said, you can have all these reports. You can have them either emailed or sent to a share folder or however you want it to be sent out. So just to get back over.
Adam, I
go ahead.
apologize. I see
go
we
ahead.
have quite a few people here from local and state government. And I just wanted to kind of interject here a little thing. I know that some of them are responsible for public safety, more specifically police departments and sheriff's departments. And for you guys to have these reports on a regular basis, you can actually schedule these things to automatically email it to you. And you have the reports just as Adam's saying here. That way you'd have actionable items instead of just all the logs. Now you have access to all the logs at all the time, but these types of things are helpful to you to get pinpointed exactly what you need to get to, especially for the FDLE audits. I'll turn it back over to you, Adam.
No, Great point, John. Yeah, they're all scheduled daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, however you would like to set it up. And along with everything else, you can also even go back in time and look at your start dates and your end dates if you want to go back and look at a previous however long you're keeping your logs, you know, because you can set a schedule to purge the data if you don't want to keep it for a certain amount of time. And this is all done through a built-in Postgres database, or you can have it sent to an external Postgres database, however you'd like to set it up. So that is just our executive dashboard, which is just a high-end view, looking at your security dashboard. It gives you kind of the bad things going on. The red is, of course, you know, what's being blocked. And then your subscription services, these are, you know, what's going on your network and how things are working, what they're doing, how much they're scanning. And as you can see, this is, again, you know, all PDF applicable. Threat map, this is just kind of, currently it's kind of eye candy. You know, it's here, but this is just where the majority of the threats coming to your environment are from. Now, Firewatch is a great one because you can consider this blue screen your internet pipe. So when you get that inevitable call that my internet is slow, you see A. Novak here, which is me. He's been doing 1 gig worth of bandwidth, and then you can see where it's all going. You can really kind of, we consider these pivot points. So you can kind of go down and see the domains he's going to, the applications he's using, the web audit, and then the protocols that he's using. So this is a really good troubleshooting tool, and it's real time. You can see what's going on. If you have a NOC or an office you want to put things in, you can make it full screen, and you can set it at a time of, you know, however many seconds, and you can just have it up there all the time. So that's pretty cool. There's some more other tools to use, but here's the reports tab. The reports, you can expand them all. And as you can see, you know, most active clients, all these canned reports are already there. But once you install Dimension, it might not look like this from the very beginning, but the more and more policies and proxies that you enable logging on, the more abundant the data that's going to hit your Dimension server will be. So as you enable logging for more and more of these policies and proxies, the more of these reports will show up and that are relevant. And then you can see all the information that's getting pushed to your Dimension server. And all these, like we said earlier, sorry to keep beating a dead horse, but these are schedulable. You know, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. You just go up here and go to manage tasks, and then you would schedule whatever reports that you want to make. Okay, from there, that is just a really, really quick overview of Dimension. And I mean, I could spend a day on this, but, you know, obviously it's a very powerful tool. It is, you know, the visibility is a buzzword these days because you want to know what's going on in your environment. You want to know what's going on your network, and you want to have the ability to answer questions when people ask you what's going on your network. So this just gives you the ability to have the logs and reports readily available, easily readable, and you're not drowning in this information because you're actually telling your firewall what information to send to the Dimension server to make it, you know, easily readable. So from that, I'm going to go back to a slide deck, and I'm going to go over network discovery. Now, these next two are two really cool new products that we've come out that are through the web UI. They are not on System Manager currently, and they are through the web UI. So network discovery is why scan a network? So you want to look for any open ports that are, you know, a security vulnerability, you know, a bot, you know, maybe listening. You may want to take control of your network through these open ports, or any unknown devices that are currently out there. So with network discovery, you tell the firewall what interfaces you want to scan. It's going to do a full scan of interfaces and tell you every device that's currently connected to your network. As you can see, it's going to tell you the IP address, the device name, the MAC address, operating system, and the open ports. And once you do this, you can actually open it up in Firewatch and see the activity going on and what those devices are doing, and in Traffic Monitor, which is the flow of data through your firewall. Now, this is just a quick overview of what it looks like when you do the network discovery. It'll show you Apple, Android, desktop, tablet, laptop. And here's for the information you can see through network discovery. Now, network discovery is currently available only with T-Series and M-Series boxes, and also XTMVs, which is our virtual firewall. So, and they're retroactive. If you want to get these and you have a T or an M-Series box, you can just contact customer care. They can give you a new feature key, and these features will be on there. Now, to jump over real quick to my web UI, which kind of looks like Dimension, but I'll go to Network Discovery. And I had run this previously. Now, just take into consideration, if you have a very, very large network, it can take quite a significant amount of time. And it's kind of, the scan takes longer because the firewall does not want to impact the performance. So it will take longer just so it doesn't become a CPU hog or a memory hog. So it'll go really slow. So you might want to try to do this at off hours, maybe run it when you leave work. The next day you come in, you'll have it ready. But this shows that these are the interfaces that I selected that I wanted to scan on my network discovery on my firewall. So as you can see on my local area network, I have 10 devices. And these are the ones, and you can even kind of come down here and edit what's going on. So you can consider it an approved device. You can make it a description. And you can even say, do you want it to remember or forget devices? So you can see it says remember device, or if you want to view the entire watch or traffic monitor. So these are currently, you can see the check marks are currently active. The circles were just there during the scan. And on my guest wireless network, you can see here some things currently connected or were connected when the scan was done. And this is just my external. And as you can see, I have my UVerse router there. Quick refresh. And then device list, it'll just show you a complete list of everything that's going on. You know, every device that you see, and it gives you the IP address, the device type, the operating system version, when it was last seen, and if it's an approved device. You can see all these are approved. These are not approved. So that is network discovery in a quick overview. A really powerful tool, and it's currently, this has only been out for, I think, 2 OS versions, just at 11.11, 11.11.1, and 11.11.2. But we have asked product management, and they are going to make it available pretty soon. They said by Q3, hopefully by Q4, that we will have the ability to print these out through a Visio, or to export these out and then to be able to print a network diagram. So you're not going to just have to look at it. You'll actually have a printed copy that you can actually do something with. As you can see, you can zoom so you can have them all in there. So that is network discovery. Now, I apologize for jumping back and forth, but now to get to mobile security. Now, with mobile security, we're kind of delving into the realm of BYOD. So this is bring your own device. So this is taking into consideration that people are bringing their own devices and connecting to your networks. So as you can see in the last couple of years, the mobile mobile products have really taken off. Okay. With the Android and the Apple taking precedent. Here again, the mobile devices, that are connected have really taken over the laptops and the tablets and everything else. And then with that, it's only natural that the malware will again, begin to really take off because, it's just the way it is. People see an opportunity and they take advantage of it. So with mobile security, we are actually using a Fire client, which is an application that you put on your device, either through the Google Store or the Apple Store, and it's considered access control. So if your device is not compliant, you will not be allowed on that environment. So you're going to see you can actually scan for malware on Android devices. Now on Apple devices, it's really just if the OS is up to date, if it's been jailbroken, if it's rooted, and things like that. And our mobile security is done through Kaspersky. As you can see, here's a use case with connecting with a VPN through the mobile security client. And as you can see, we create the connection. We assess if the device has been is compliant or not. And you see no malware. It's not rooted. It has the approved OS. So now it is compliant. And so access is allowed. We give them access to our internal environment, and we give them access to the cloud applications. This is just a VPN use case. Next, it's just connecting to like your corporate wireless network. And so you don't want just anybody connecting. You want to know that they are compliant to your standards. So you assess the device, see it's got no malware, it's not rooted, has the approved OS, then we say it's compliant, and then we give it access. Also with the guest SSID, you can do the same thing. Now you can see this only applies to access going through the firewall. So if it's standalone access points, you can't use this. And again, this is not mobile device management. This is only, through a WatchGuard environment, and it doesn't, cannot wipe data, it cannot centrally manage, and it can't control surfing when you're not behind these controlled networks. And again, the licensing is through number of users. So you can see down there it says 5, 10, 25, 50. And the Fire client is available through the Google Play and through the Apple Store. And now I'm just going to jump back over to the my web UI and look at mobile security. So you can see the mobile security and the network discovery are under the subscription services. So mobile security, you come down here, you decide what networks you want to have the compliancy tests on, and then you would say the device compliance. Here's the Android, so it says do not allow rooted, do not allow devices USB debugging, and see if it's got malware or adware. And then you can also do the same with iOS, which is just looking for jailbroken devices and that it's got a compliant OS version of 8 or 9. The protection, the keep alive for the client if it's been, and you can also give them the disclaimer. And here's my quick disclaimer: if your phone is not compliant, you not be allowed to play on the playground. Just you can put whatever you want there. So, but as you can see, we'll go back up here, go to dashboard, go to mobile security, and I will turn mine off. I currently have mine connected. I will log out. So now it says compliance unknown, and I'm behind my wireless network. I will click on my Fire client and see if my iPhone is compliant. and it should change to passed. So my device is now compliant. So again, you know, these tools have just been put into place in the last couple of months. So they will be there will be a lot more work put into them, and they will become more and more robust. But I think it's a great start, and it gives you, again, the visibility from the dimension and the visibility of the network discovery, and, you know, trying to protect yourself from unknown and non-corporate devices that were not given out by the corporation. They were brought in by employees. So you're trying to protect yourself as much as possible. And with network discovery, you're seeing what's on your network. And with mobile security, you're protecting to what's connecting to your network. And with Dimension, you're getting the visibility of everything going on. So I think, you know, these are three very useful products. And I think, you know, this is the way everything's going. You want the visibility, and you want to have the logs and everything at your fingertips to be able to see. Now, I hope everybody, I feel like I rushed through things a little bit. So if you have any further questions, feel free to post those. I'll get them back to you as soon as possible. And if anybody would like a more in-depth web demo, feel free to contact me or someone at Vertex. We'll do our best to get that done. And I really hope you guys found this informational and useful. And I appreciate the time. And everyone have a good rest of your Thursday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to me here. Again, thank you for attending our webinar here. Wanted to thank Adam also for spending the time to go over the Dimension product, and also the additional products of the network discovery and mobile security. Again, this is recorded, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the